The letter left unopened. It could have saved his family. Daniel was not a cruel man, nor careless by intention. He was, however, a man of delay. In his little town of Greybridge, everyone knew him for his easy smile, his lazy laugh, and his favorite phrase, "I'll do it later." It was not laziness alone that defined him, but the quiet confidence that tomorrow would always be waiting for him. A patient servant standing just behind today. If something could be done now, Daniel believed it could always be done tomorrow. That belief, as simple as it seemed, was the seed of tragedy. It began on an ordinary Tuesday morning. Daniel walked down the small dirt path that led to his mailbox at the end of the lane. The sun had just risen, spilling gold across the fields, and he stretched his arms with a yawn. Inside the box, among the usual bills and advertisements, was one peculiar envelope. It was heavier than the rest, sealed with thick red wax that bore the stamp of the county seal. Bold letters stamped across the front read, "Urgent. Open immediately." For a moment, Daniel's brow furrowed. He turned it in his hand, curious. His wife, Clara, came out of the house carrying their youngest child on her hip. "What's that?" she asked. "Looks official," Daniel replied, shrugging. He gave a half smile, tucking it under the pile of regular mail. "I'll open it later." Clara frowned. "Daniel, it says urgent." "I'll get to it," he promised, already stepping past her toward the kitchen. He set the envelope on the wooden table near the window. Its red wax glistened in the morning light, but Daniel didn't glance at it again. The day slipped away in ordinary tasks. Daniel tinkered in the garden, patched a loose shutter, even dozed for an hour in his chair. Clara eyed the envelope more than once, but said nothing, trusting that eventually Daniel would do as he said. But evening came, and the letter remained sealed. The next day passed much the same. Daniel fetched wood, played with his children, and shared a meal with Clara. Each time he walked past the table, the letters seemed to call out silently, "Open me." Each time, Daniel muttered the same words under his breath. "Later. I'll open it later." By the third day, whispers began circulating in Greybridge. The blacksmith's wife mentioned a strange fever spreading in nearby towns. A shopkeeper closed early, complaining of a cough. Daniel heard these things but brushed them off. Rumors, he thought. People always panicked about something. That night, as the family sat at supper, their eldest child, Emma, pointed to the letter. "Daddy, why is it still there?" "The one with the red stamp." Daniel chuckled, ruffling her hair. "Don't worry about that, sweetheart. It's probably nothing important." But Clara's eyes lingered on it, her unease growing. On the fifth day, the church bells tolled at an unusual hour. In Greybridge, bells rang in the morning for prayer, at noon for gathering, and in the evening to mark the end of the day. But never at mid-afternoon, except for funerals. Daniel stood in the square when he heard the somber toll. Townsfolk gathered, whispering anxiously. An elder woman murmured, "Old Harold passed in the night. Fever took him. They say 3 more are sick." For the first time, Daniel felt a twinge of unease. Fever? Illness? He thought of the rumors, the coughs, the shuttered shops. When he returned home, Clara met him at the door, her face pale. "Daniel, I'm begging you. Open that letter. What if it's a warning?" But Daniel's pride swelled. He was tired of fear in every corner of the village. "I won't let some letter control our lives. We'll be fine." That night, his youngest child, Thomas, began to cough. By dawn, he burned with fever. Panic gripped the house. Clara pressed cool cloths against Thomas's head, while Daniel ran through the streets seeking help. The clinic was closed, its door nailed shut with a sign that read, "Quarantine. Do not enter." The doctor's home was empty, windows dark. The streets were silent except for the sound of distant weeping. Daniel returned home, his chest heaving with dread. He burst through the door, and his eyes fell upon the envelope. Still on the table, still sealed, its red wax now mocking him. His hands trembled as he snatched it up and tore it open. The words inside froze his blood. To all residents of Graybridge, a dangerous fever has spread in the county. Quarantine your homes immediately. Treatment packages have been delivered to each household. Instructions enclosed. Do not delay. Lives depend on it. Daniel's heart pounded. He ran to the front door, and there, at the threshold, sat a small wooden box. It was sealed, stamped with the same red wax. It had been there for days, unnoticed. He tore it open. Inside were vials of medicine, clear instructions for how to protect his family. But it was too late. Thomas's fever raged. Clara grew weak, her breath shallow, her body trembling. Emma tried to stay strong, but by the second night, she too fell sick. The treatment was there in Daniel's shaking hands, but precious time had already slipped away. Their bodies were too fragile, the sickness too advanced. One by one, they slipped from him. By the week's end, 3 graves stood in the garden behind the house. His wife, his daughter, his son. The earth was freshly turned, the markers still plain, and Daniel knelt before them, hollow, broken. Inside the house, the letter lay open on the table, its words a cruel reminder of what could have been. He stared at the broken red seal, tears blurring his vision, whispering over and over, "If only I had opened it sooner." The town of Graybridge never forgot the story. Mothers told their children, "Don't put off what must be done, or you may lose more than you imagine." The villagers remembered Daniel not with anger, but with sorrow, a living warning carved into memory. The letter left unopened, the family lost, the chance ignored. Life does not wait. Tomorrow does not stand quietly behind today, ready to carry the weight of what you abandon. Daniel thought he had time. He thought one letter could wait, but that single unopened envelope cost him his world. Remember, the smallest act delayed can become the heaviest regret. Open the letter, take the step, do it now, because later might be too late.